Hello there everybody, good day to you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Glad you guys are here. I don't know what I'm doing on this one. We've got a early 2000s Super Duty. This is a Ford F250. She's been around the block a time or two, a little bit rough, paint's faded. This thing is here for a crank no start. The engine does not start at 396,700 miles on the odometer. Yeah, she's up there. This thing is equipped with the 7.3 liter turbocharged Power Stroke. And again, it's a crank no start. Let me show you what she's doing and what she's not doing. Reach over, start the engine here. Nothing. Hang on, one more time. Key's tough. Yeah, she just kind of cranks. That's no bueno. Just kind of cranks and cranks and cranks. Now, the customer had stated that they had attempted to get this thing to light off. They replaced the fuel filter, and that's located inside of this hole right here. And they replaced this little sensor right there. That's the ICP, the injection control pressure sensor, I believe is what it stands for, something along those lines. That's the sensor that lets us know how much pressure is being applied to the injectors from the secondary engine oil pump. That's right, this is a HUEI system. That stands for hydraulically actuated electronically controlled injectors. HUEI is the acronym. Now what that means, unlike a modern diesel engine that has an injection pressure pump, this engine has a secondary oil pump that produces high pressure engine oil. That high pressure engine oil is then used to apply the force to pressurize the diesel fuel and provide the injection pressures required to get it into the cylinders. So it's a slightly different, a little bit more primitive type of system that we have since moved away from, but it exists today nonetheless. So we're going to attempt to diagnose this. Now, this is before my time. I am not trained on HUEI systems. I did not work on HUEI systems. I know a little bit about them, but I'm more of a common rail type of person. Now you can see we've got the battery charger on these Crustomatic batteries here. This thing's been kind of laid up for a little while. Like I said, she's not running. Newish kind of battery, but yeah, it's not the greatest. Oh look, found the drywall screw. Yeah, buddy, we got a winner right there. The infamous drywall screw. So, getting back to business, what I'd like to do here is we're gonna get the scan tool on this unit, and we're gonna check for some mandatory signals from some of our sensors that's gonna allow this engine to run. We need to get a hold of injection pressures. I need to see if we have cam and or crankshaft position signal. And we're gonna look for some codes while we're in here. So let's unplug the little tuner thing they got in there. Get the dongle plugged in. We're gonna fire up the scanner and see what we can learn from the ECU on this bad boy. Oh, damn, error. Even the brake control module has an error. That's not good. Let's get some AC turned on in here. There we go, now we can ventilate. Okay, let's pull it up. We're looking for a 2001 Ford F250. That's the Super Duty line with the 7.3 liters. So there we go, F series. And find 7.3 Power Stroke right there. Calculating, we're gonna go into engine and powertrain. Automatic trans with AC. I don't know why that's an option these days. Codes menu, do we have any codes? Memory codes? Show me something here. IAT circuit low input. That's intake air temperature circuit low input. That's not our problem. So let's go back out into data. Yeah, the intake air temp sensor is not going to make this thing no crank. So we're going to look for injection control pressure data. That's from the ICP. Now it has a replacement ICP sensor. The customer already chucked one of those in this trying to fix this previously. Let's find that sensor PID in the list here. Here we go. Injection control pressure. Right now we're hanging out at like 33 PSI. Let's crank this bad boy. I believe we need 500 PSI on the ICP. So ICP, there's volts right there, and there's our pressure in PSI. It's the one above the line. I'm going to crank the engine and we watch that that PID right there. Cranking now. Or not. Oh, it doesn't want to crank. 65. 62. 85. 95. I'm standing on the throttle. 100 psi. 112. 155. 130. It might start. Came up to 1500. Took a while to get there though. Interesting. Yeah, we should want to start. It came up. It took a little while to come up, but it did get there. Let's go check the engine oil level, make sure we have enough oil, because low engine oil will starve that secondary pump and prevent the thing from cranking or firing. Here, let's see what we have for engine oil level on this unit. Give it a wipe, give it a dip, yank it out, and we have good oil in there, but we are at the low add mark. Yeah, we're a little low, so we need to add some oil to it. Ooh, yucky. Look, there's been crispy critters in here, and they've eaten a hole in the engine oil fill cap. That's no good. All right, we're gonna have to go full Kirkland on the diesel oil here, because I don't know if we want to dump in any Primo Amsoil just yet. Give it a quart, whatever. Should be good. Yeah, I might need more than just that quart. It didn't affect very much on that dipstick level, did it? Yeah, no, we need to get some more in here. Super low. Trying to reacquire my pouring things skills.
What's up, brother?
Yeah.
Grab for you.
Yeah, no, she's not here right now. She went out to fetch lunch or something. Yeah, we're still not there. I'm just gonna kill the rest of this jug right here. This is 2.5 quarts. The spillage. That's actually, I'm doing that on purpose to prevent rust prevention. It's so it all matches the rest of the spillage here. There we go. Now we have a full engine oil level, right about there. Okay. You know, when we were cranking it inside, it almost felt like it wanted to start. Let's go try again and see if it's going to light off with some more oil pressure. Let's give it some more electrons here. Oh, I heard things click. I wonder if we had some arcing at the cables. Yeah, I can feel the electrons buzzing. That's hardcore. All right, climbing on up in here. Yeah. Let's see if she's gonna start. Now, when we had a reading on that ICP, I was actually holding this throttle all the way down, trying to get it to fire up. Let's see if it's gonna run. Okay, full throttle. Nope. Well, we've got another DTC showing up. So we had one more trouble code appear. Let's go down. Injection control pressure, 26 psi. Let's see what we get for that PID right there, cranking. 26. 93. Full throttle, holding it, still holding it. She's waking up. It almost thought it was gonna fire up. Yeah, that's the one we're looking for. We need 500 minimum to fire. 1,000. She's trying. Nah. Okay, here's our new code, P1212. Injection control pressure not at expected. I'm assuming that's expected value. Let's go, don't need that. Let's go take a look at the repair manual here and see what P212 tells us we need to be doing. Let's power this off to try to get those batteries to come back up. And I'm gonna take this off of start mode because we're throwing amps into these batteries, so we'll back it down. Wow, look at that. The lights were dimming out. Yeah, that thing pulls some current. Yeah, check this out, not kidding. We've got the battery terminals here. The infrared meter is definitely showing some current flow through those terminals. That's crazy. Look at this one over here. Getting hot. Cable's getting hot. Yep, let's check the other battery, see if that one's taking in some electrons. Yep, got a bad connection right there. Imagine that. That's an alternator killing connection. And then our ground lug is also showing some heat. Yeah, I can feel it too. I feel that heat. Okie dokes, I have the flow chart here for a P1212 injector control pressure, ICP sensor, signal functions. The injection control pressure ICP sensor is a variable capacitance sensor that, when supplied with a 5-volt reference signal from the PCM powertrain control module, produces a linear analog voltage signal that indicates pressure. So when it sees pressure, it makes voltage. Got it. Detection/management. If the PCM detects a malfunctioning ICP sensor out of range, high or low, the check engine light will illuminate and the PCM will go into open loop control of injection control pressure. It'll operate from an estimated injection control pressure value. That's what it's saying here. Okay, so it wants me to basically check the connector. Let's go check the connector, why not? Let's go check it. We got a code, we got a new sensor, let's check the connector of said sensor. The thing was talking about loose pins and things of that nature. Let's see. Yeah, wires dangling everywhere. I think this connector is good. What is this? That's not good. Look right here. What is that? Bare wires hanging out of that thing. You can't have that. What's happening here? Alright, hang on. We need to get that thing disconnected. I don't even know what that is. I think that's a temperature. Maybe a temp sensor. Whatever it is, the rats were chewing on it. It's not great. I can't really get it to come off because, ow! There's metal sticking out of this fuel line here and it's poking me. There, we'll hold it down with a towel. I gotta pry the fuel line thing down. Gravity. Yeah, pry the fuel line thing down and maybe. Ow. That was painful. Yeah, it's all frayed and torn up in there. We're just going to separate those. That way we know there's no short to anything. We'll come back to that later. That's a temp sensor. That's not the problem. Let's plug ICP back in. Oh, you can't see. There. You know, I'm thinking that we just have a prime problem in the fuel. I think, because it did try to fire up. Let's go crank it some more. right, it doesn't want to run on its own. Let's make it run. It's not starting fluid. Begin making it run now. That didn't sound good. Hey Troy, come over here, man. Crank this. I'm gonna give it some, what do the Canadians call it? Something juice?
I don't know.
Some kind of juice? Java juice? I don't know.
You don't have to worry about that. Now let's just add some Cosby sauce. And so we're gonna dual wield it until all the ether's in there. Hopefully soaking the air cleaner. This is gonna be a hearty dose.
Yeah, hit the key on this thing. I don't know, I forget what they called it. I saw it on bias plies and zip ties.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead, fire it up. That didn't sound great. Nope, all done. Just chill for a while. Let's let the batteries come back up. All right, we're gonna pull a little bit of triagnostics down here. We're crawling under, and my target is gonna be the camshaft position sensor up here. Now I know we just went like kind of wild on the direction shift, but I talked to Aaron at Power Stroke Tech Talk with A-Rod. I talked to Aaron. He started off his career working on these things. And he took a look at all the stuff that we were just taking a look at. We were just reviewing rather. And he said everything is looking very good regarding the fuel and the pressure like it's supposed to be. And he said to me, I need to come up here and get a hold of this camshaft position sensor and take a look at the connector and the pins in the cam position sensor. Because we did have RPM out of this, but those are, I guess, like a known problem on this engine, so I'll need to get in here and dig that sensing unit out from behind this crankshaft. Bear with me a little bit, this is kind of hard for me to reach. Oh, let's take a look at this connector up top too. Let's try to pull that connector up. That connector looked kind of grody. But he said that there's two kinds of sensors in those. There's ones that are black in color and ones that are gray in color. He said the black ones are super junk, and it needs to be replaced because that will cause the crank no start, even though we seem to have some kind of cam position signal. Here's the pigtail. That's not looking good. Oh, that's not looking good at all. That's nasty. Yeah, let's pull this thing up here. I'm gonna fill this full of electrical contact cleaner and clean these pins out. That looks terrible in there. Here, let's de-schmoo this thing. Get those pins cleaned out. Okay, we'll leave that alone. I'm gonna go down below and pluck that sensor out for inspection. Just gotta work that thing out. Yeah, that bad boy is buried up there. You are doing a great job, sir. Don't worry. Cassidy is having kind of a hard day, but he's doing good. Yeah, it's always rough when you're fresh because you're thrown into an atmosphere you don't know about, and you're doing things you don't know how to do, and everybody's yelling at you and all these expectations and stuff. It's a rough life being a greenhorn. Okay, sensors. Aaron told me I'm supposed to take this thing out. Oh, it is gray. Aaron said I'm supposed to take this thing out with a pry bar. I manhandled it. Yeah, we're gonna put another one in there. These are cheap. There's like 25 bucks or something like that, 40 bucks. So we're gonna change this guy out. Someone's replaced this before. Ooh, what's the part number on this? I'm gonna look that up and see what it is. Who made it? It's gonna be 2022175. Let's see if this is a legitish part or a a Chinesium cheapo. Aaron also told me that that sensor there does not belong here and that is not the correct one either. It could be one out of a 6.0 or it could also just be a Chinesium knockoff. So I might end up changing that thing out as well. Nasty. I did find a bunch of dried up grease in that connector though. See that? That's what we cleaned out of the pigtail side. The plot thickens. Look at here. I just found that the wastegate vacuum line is chewed off and disconnected. That means that when throttle is released, that wastegate is not allowed to open up because it's not being pulled open by vacuum, and that will cause overboost when no boost is requested. That's not okay. It's supposed to be plugged in. I think I need to cut open the oil filter. So I realize that we're kind of all over the place, but I've learned from experience that when they come in with fresh oil and a no start, there's potentially a catastrophic event that occurred. So I'm here to check this filter. We're looking for, man, my fingernails are nasty. We're looking for metal in these pleats. Now, keep in mind, this is a brand new filter. Probably has no runtime on it because I think they changed the oil in response to the no start. And we're looking for evidence of catastrophic failure. Reason I think that is I noticed in the back seat over here, we have got some forbidden fruit. Back here where the engine oil was, I found a can of starting fluid. That's not great. That's a bad sign. Yeah, there's starting fluid and a wrench and a couple jugs of oil in there. Okay. Yeah, so I think they changed the engine oil as a response to the no start. Focus you. And may have wiped away all my evidence. But based on what I see here, there's really no oil in the filter. A little bit down here, or no metal in the oil in the filter rather. So that's a dead end. So we're gonna throw a new filter on there. We're gonna throw that cam sensor in this and then kind of go from there. But I don't know. All right, let's check the lift pump while we wait on parts. There is a lift pump down here on the frame rail. Hey, Dave or Lauren, whoever's just walked past me. Laura, will you climb in this thing and key the ignition key on? We want to see if this this lift pump is pumping fuel. See if we can hear it. Fire it up, please. I mean, don't start the engine, just turn the key on. Okay, that pump's pumping. Let's see if it's actually pulling fuel. Shut it off, please. All right, let me out. Here, watch out there, darling.
Watch the door.
Oh, I know. I don't want to smash my noggin. Been there, done that. Lauren, I'll have you do that one more time. I'm going to come up here and open up the valve. And I want you to key that on. There's a little yellow tab right there. That little valve. All right, go ahead and key it on. Yeah, there's some fuel going. Okay, shut it off. Thank you. Okay, next we're going to inspect the filter in the housing here. So what we figured out is, according to the ICP, we have oil pressure. And that's not very full. It's horrible in there. Do we have, oh, you can't see. If there's any shiny in that thing. Hey, Laura, I need you. Oh no, Dave, will you help me? Reach in there and key this thing on. Huh. We're not filling fuel. Vacuum pump's working, but we're not fueling. That's a little weird. Okay, shut her down, Dave. Okay, so I just phoned in a friend again after finding this right here. It looks like that electric fuel pump, battery, looks like that electric fuel pump down on the frame rail has been taken out. Like, it runs, but it's not pumping fuel. So it could have just been a pump failure, or it could be a bunch of nasty hanging out inside of the tank, which has caused the destruction of that pump. So I'm gonna order another pump, and we're gonna throw a pump in there too. This is a parts cannon job. It's a 400,000 mile truck, man. So we're gonna put a pump in it because we don't have fuel. The pump runs, it's commanded on. There is no fuel being primed into that filter bowl. We found metal in there. That metal's probably from the pump. So the pump's been running with no fuel to it because it probably has a restriction at the pickup in the tank. So we may end up having to pull the tank out of this as well. Well, let's go down there and dig the pump out of this unit. All right, boys. We are back down below in the driver's side frame rail. I have a fuel pump ordered. We're gonna get this one removed. See, there's a bracket here that bolts to the frame. I'm gonna reach up 13 mil. Let's unbolt that bracket so we have some working room, I think. Wow. Okay, so the stud is turning on the mount thing. Gotta cut that off. That's cool. Can't do that. New tactic, electron tools. Okay. This is not fun with the bolts not coming out. I have to cut them off. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Man, this truck's killing me, guys. Like, bad. Maybe I can take the power and ground wire out of it. I can't really do anything with it. Nothing wants to. I'll tell you what, I'll take the line off. We'll try to slide it out of the little bracket. Since the bracket doesn't come off, I really don't want to chop the thing out of there. So, fuel line disconnect tool it is. I've got to do the thing I did not want to do. Get fuel all over me some more. I mean, I'm already covered in Ford schmoo as it is. Got oil and grease and grime and all kinds of stuff. And fuel. Wait, there's no fuel on this side, right? Is it wrong? That should be whatever is gonna drain back out of the line. There we go. You guys are in the line of fire. I need a shower. Yeah. Little plastic dealy-doo there. Doesn't want to come out. I need more of the appropriate leverage. That pocket driver wasn't doing it. This one's not doing it either. Oh, come on, please. It's just a plastic clip and I just don't want to break it. That's all. There we go. See, I said please and it listened. How nice. So let's spill some more diesel here. Uh-oh. Got no fuel. It's not a good sign. There should be some gas in there. Diesel. Fuel. Now this pump's coming out anyway though, because there's metal in the filter, and metal comes from the fuel pump. It does not come from in the tank. Come on, you wire, come out of there. There we go. Okay, a couple 10 millis. This guy should come apart. Yeah. Okay, got a wrench on that one. Take the nut off. I have a new fuel pump here. It's slightly different. It's not a Motorcraft pump. The Motorcraft one was $469. I got a CarQuest one, not sponsored, that's just who had one for $69. And since we're dealing with a might be dead 400,000 mile truck, I figured we could get an inexpensive part. Endless 8mm. Come on. You guys wonder why my hands are always shaky? This is it. Constant. That's it. That's why our hands get shaky. It's a normal state of affairs. Okay, there she is. Now I have a replacement right here. Not exactly the same, but I think it'll do. It's gonna have to do, because that's what we got. I'm not sure which one of these is positive and negative. It didn't really specify. There's no plus or minus on the pump body. We're gonna have to guess, make a hypothesis, so to speak. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, it's gonna have to not matter, because the directions did not indicate which terminal is which terminal, and the component itself does not indicate which terminal is which terminal. So we have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Okay, these guys are kind of tight, sure. All right, we got her wired up. Dave's gonna reach in and key it on real quick just to see if the pump comes on. Go ahead, man. Yeah, she's running. All right, shut her down. We're good. Thank you, sir, for the assistance. So let's stuff this thing back into the little bracket deal up here. If we can get the wires past, there we go. That's gonna be a tight fit. There's like this vibration insulation stuff in here. We got to get past that. We're supposed to remove this bracket to get the thing to come out. That's not in the cards, because I'll have to cut the bracket off. And I don't want to cut the bracket off. Pry driver, and then another for the installation. I'm just kind of working this thing. I've been cutting scene here, so we're not just staring at the same thing for 20 minutes straight. Trying to accommodate y'all's viewing pleasure. Okay, that's in, I believe. About as in as it's gonna get. Let's see if we can't get her plugged in. There we go. Okay, I think that's in. Tuck this wire out of the way. There we go, fold it back this way, give it some more slack. It's a real close quarters combat in there with these two, looks like brake lines or whatever. The brake lines are flanking this thing. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that bolt back in, because the insulation built into this pump plus the insulation in that bracket aren't jiving. Like I said, this is aftermarket, guys, so I think the bolt's not going in, but this thing is never going to go anywhere. So let's get out of here, and we're going to key it on, see if we can't start drawing some fuel out of it. I think the pickup sock in the tank is also probably plugged up or disintegrated, so this thing may not pull fuel, but we've at least got to try. So let me get my goodies out of the way here. Sorry for the vertigo. Oh, we'll climb out from under this this thing here. Time for a moment of truth. We're gonna key this thing on. Verify that that pump is running. And it is, I can hear it. So now we should be filling fuel in here, and we are not. Yep, not fueling. That thing should be filled immediately. So we need to drop the tank. That's where we're at. Tank's got to come down because we do not have fuel coming from tank to pump to filter bowl, and according to our gauge here, we have fuel in the tank. So we have a restriction at the tank. That's where we're at so far. So now the fuel tank's got to come down. However, I got to save that one for another day. Today's not the day for fuel tank pulling out of hers. We need, that's not even a real word. We need to get this thing moved over onto the big rack for such things. I'm going to order another one of these guys because that one's been metal contaminated. We're gonna flush that out. We're gonna replace this cap because this little screen is ultra restricted. Yeah, that's not okay. So we're gonna get a cap. Oh, look at that, O-ring's destroyed also. That's weird. Yeah, we need a cap, a filter. I already put an engine oil filter on it. I've got a cam sensor. We're gonna update that one with a new one. And we're gonna have to save the fuel tank job for the part 2 on this particular series, I guess. Now that being said, y'all are gonna have to wait a minute because I am gonna take a few days and not be at work. We're doing our annual leave town vacation, and I'm not telling you where we're going. Some of you guys already know. We will have returned by the time I post this because you never put on the internet when you're not gonna be somewhere or when you are gonna be here somewhere. So by the time you see this, I'm already out of town. But I will be taking a hiatus from content creation because I will not be creating content because I won't be here.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
But we'll pick back up when we get back. So that being said, currently I have nothing more to offer you in this particular video other than a thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think about this Super Duty in the comments section down below. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button while you're down there if you would like to see more content like this, and or if you're anxiously awaiting the part 2 on this particular truck. I want to know if it's going to run. I really do. I think we can save it. But let me know, weigh in your opinion in the comment section down below. And most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video in a Ford F250, end of no fuel in a transmission.